going on, people? We're back in the house, back again. Another show, another Arsenal show, another football show. Going to be talking a little bit about England, talk a little bit about Arsenal, a little bit about the targets that Arsenal are looking at, look at some of the player sales, and of course, getting all of your questions in. So do me a favor now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. There's a poll in the chat. Have you subscribed? Have you not? The reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to get to 20k. Once I hit the 20k, I'll shut up. I'll ask for some likes. I'll ask for some subscribes, as people always do. But I need you to do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you can hit like and subscribe, we can hit 20k tonight. That is what I'm hoping for. We hit over 250 overnight. Let's make sure that we can do that again. Excuse me. If we do that, we will hit it. So please hit subscribe. Please hit like. Hit the poll. Let me know that you have subscribed so that I know. And big up to all of you for being here. Who's in the house nice and early that's going to get a shout out? Hyper Protagonist is in the house. Liam is in the house. Patrick, big up to you. Maltese Babe is in the house. Jake is in the house. Garang, also Abdul, also Will, also Jamie. Big up to yourself. Big up Richo. Big up Flawless. Big up to Mum. Big up to Zach. Big up to all of you. Absolute legends for being here. We was asked, are you doing a watch along for the Euros? Watch this space. Myself and lead judges will probably do some. So watch this space, man. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're locked in. And hopefully we'll be able to provide some content. Definitely content. Maybe some watch alongs. We'll see. We'll see how we go. If you're just joining us, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, people. We're trying to get to 20k this evening. So all you need to do is hit 2 buttons. They're absolutely free. Like and subscribe. Come on, I'm sure you can do that for us. As we start to reach to 100 people already watching, this is great stuff. Please make sure that you hit the like button. It's amazing that I think it's 48% of the people that watched my channel are not subscribed. That's mad. That's mad. So please make sure that you are, because subscriptions mean a lot, and so do likes. So that helps the channel grow. It helps people view us. It helps more people watch. So please make sure that you do that. The only reason I'm begging and asking for this is because we're so close to our next target, which is 20k. So you won't hear nothing from me if he gets to 20k until we go to 30k, which is the next target. So that's what we are looking at. We're going to start with England. Then we're going to go into Arsenal and talk a little bit about some transfers and some links. So please make sure that you stay tuned for that. Daib, I ain't subscribed. Please hit the subscribe button, my friend. That's all you got to do. Really appreciate you for being here, but please hit the subscribe button. Let's talk a little bit about England, shall we? I've got to be honest. I looked at the England squad and I've had such a busy day. I walked in late earlier on today and I thought, do you know what? Let's take a look at it. And the only real surprises that have shocked me, good and bad, are the following. Lewis Dunk instead of Branthwaite. Is that really deserving? Can we be really honest with ourselves and say that Lewis Dunk deserves to be in this side ahead of Branthwaite? Age and experience definitely comes into it, but is Lewis Dunk a veteran in terms of England international caps? No. Branthwaite is the one that definitely on form deserves to be in there. So I think that is really, really harsh. I've got to say it. It's really, 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 really harsh that he's not been a part of that squad, because I think he's definitely been one of the best, if not the best, English centre-back this season. I've got to say that. John Stones has been in and out of Manchester City's 11 as always. And I've got to say, Branthwaite deserved it, man. 100%. So I was a bit surprised, personally. This question comes in here from AFC Always. What did you make of Gareth Southgate's 26-man squad? That's what we're talking about now. Harry Maguire was a shock that he left him out. I believe in Gareth Southgate's last few tournaments, he's stuck with the people that he trusts, and Harry Maguire was one of them. So for him not to pick him, I think is a brave move, and I think it's a good move. I don't think he deserves to be in there. But I look at it and think, who is actually going to be the pair now? Maybe John Stones and Mark Guehi are the two that he'll go with. He's got Gomez in there. A lot of people are saying that we could go 3 at the back, or Kyle Walker can play centre-back. I'm not going to be silly and say that I believe that's the case. I think it will be Guehi and John Stones now. That's the only option I can see, if I'm honest with you. So centre-backs, kind of surprised that we've got that that scenario. I don't see Dunk starting, personally. So yeah, I honestly don't believe that to be the case. Big up to Mark, says, however good you are when you're fit, why would you take injured and players without game time? Yeah, facts. There's a lot of people that were saying that was not the best thing to be doing. but we've got some weeks to get people fit now. So let's see where we're at. Richo, I agree with here, says Branthwaite and Tarkowski were the best defensive only to Arsenal. I think, yeah, exactly. Both of those could have had a chance, to be honest. Branthwaite definitely, Richo. I don't understand how we haven't got to a stage where Branthwaite's a part of that England squad. I think that's incredibly harsh. Of course, the other surprise additions are Adam Wharton and Eze. Now, I've got to be honest with you, last 3 months, they both deserve to be in there. I think they've been phenomenal. I really do. I think what Palace have done under Glasner with those players fit, adding to that Elise, Mitchell, Joachim Anderson, Gehi, Mateta, they've been fantastic, Palace. So I can kind of understand why he's gone with them. I'm really surprised that he put Adam Wharton in there. But Adam Wharton and Grealish, Adam Wharton and Eze are the two players that have been left in there, and Maddison and Grealish have been left out. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on Maddison and Grealish as players, but I actually do rate them both. I think Jack Grealish has been phenomenal for Aston Villa and has come to Manchester United and has been good. He hasn't been fantastic. He hasn't been a flop for 100 million, but I don't look at him and think, wow, you're the reason that Manchester City have got that treble. There's a lot of rumours that he might not actually be staying at Manchester City in the summer. I've no idea if they're true or false. As for Maddison, probably between August, September, October, November, December time, one of Tottenham's best players. But actually, let's be real. He was poor when he came back from injury. He was really poor. Does he deserve to be dropped completely? I think taking Tony and Watkins and Kane is a really interesting one because I can't see that they'll be used that much, those two strikers, unless Kane gets a knock. But taking them ahead of Grealish or ahead of Maddison, that's a brave move from Gareth Southgate. Proves to me that he doesn't quite know which one that he wants to call a second behind Kane, because I don't feel Watkins has done enough in an England shirt. Tony's not really been given a chance, but to take both of them ahead of Maddison and Grealish, who have got time in an England shirt, is kind of mad, really. So let's see where we are with England. Let's come to your questions here from Jake. Big up all of you. Make sure you put a question in if you want to. Make sure you put a queue by it. If it's a super chat, it goes to the front of the queue. And we're done. Jake, big up. What's your starting 11 for the Euros now the squad is finalised? Okay. Pickford in goal. I love Ramsdale, but he's not going to play because he hasn't played all season. So Pickford has to play. Right back. Trent. For me. A lot of people will say Trippier or Walker. Trent has been phenomenal. Best right back in the league. And I go by form. Centre-backs, it would have actually been John Stones and Branthwaite. But I'm going to go now, John Stones and Mark Gehi. Left back, Joe Gomez. I think he's been the best left back out of the ones selected. So for me, I have to go there. In midfield, I would do this. Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. Ahead of them, Cole Palmer. Left, Foden. Right, Saka. And up front, Kane. That's what I would do, personally. Because I feel like people are so obsessed with putting Foden in the middle. But I think that left wing is an issue then, if I'm honest. People can say Anthony Gordon. People can say Palmer or Saka over there. Fair play. But I'm not too sure, if I'm honest. Big up, Jamie. Hope you're well, bruv. Make sure you go and follow this guy, man. Absolute legend. Jamie Phillips, Football Chats. Make sure that you go and subscribe, people. So that would be my England 11. Because I think there's a lot of people that seem very reluctant with the whole left wing situation. Does Gordon good enough to start? Is Palmer a left winger? Can Saka go over there? Does Foden start left? And I think out of all those options, Foden is the best left. And I think what we do is we use Palmer and Foden to kind of interchange a bit. And then Kane's there to link up play. I think it's a phenomenal front six. I really do. I mean, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Palmer, Saka, Kane. Come on, man. Honestly, Foden and Saka have been two of the best young English players in the Premier League. Kane's been the golden boot for the last, 5 years. You've got Bellingham, who's literally won the Champions League and La Liga Player of the Year, looks to be on the Ballon d'Or list. You got Rice, who's been one of Arsenal's best players. Come on, man. Yeah, the back four looks a little bit dodge, to be fair. But I don't think people realise how good that is going forward. So England have got a good chance, man. I tip Germany and France as well. I think people are sleeping on Germany. Germany have actually got some good defense. They're good defensively, but also when you look at them going forward, they look very good. You know, in midfield, they've got Goretzka. Obviously, in midfield, wide players, they've got Gnabry, they've got Sane, Musiala, and Wirtz are still there in the attacking options in midfield. They've got Kai Havertz, who's been on fire for Arsenal this season, just gone. I think Germany have got a good chance, and obviously they've got the home advantage as well. So France always going to have a chance. They've got Mbappe in the squad that they've got. England are always going to have a chance as well, man. So that's where I'm at. Get your questions in, people. Let's go through them. Let's have a look at where we are at with England and some Arsenal news. Before we do the Arsenal news, do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and show our sponsors some love. Our sponsors are, of course, Football Prizes. Make sure that you are going over to footballprizes.co.uk. The reason why is this. We have got an unbelievable opportunity for Arsenal fans and Formula One fans. The Arsenal supporters amongst you can win a Gilberto Silva signed shirt, can win a Jack Wilshere signed shirt, can win an old school retro Arsenal JVC shirt, and can get the Thierry Henry signed and custom framed Arsenal shirt with the LED and a built-in TV showing clips and highlights of Thierry Henry himself. This is an absolute must. And if I'm correct, it looks to be the season that he came back. Am I right in saying that? It looks to be the season that he come back from what I can see there. Yeah, in 2012. So make sure that you're in for this one. It's only $3.95. I've gone in for this one myself because this would be something I would absolutely love to have on behind me. So please make sure that you actually do go over to footballprizes.co.uk and give this one a go. If you are not an Arsenal fan and you are into your football, but also into your Formula One, there are 2 Silverstone Grand Prix tickets race day ready. Make sure that you are in for this. There will be 4 instant win prizes, which include a Nigel Mansell signed autograph, hats of different clubs, Ferrari, McLaren, is that Red Bull and Mercedes there as well, I can see, and likewise the T-shirts. Now, I've got one of these Mercedes shirts in black, and they're absolutely sick. If you're a massive fan of Formula One, you do need to get involved with this for only $2.95, by the way. There's still enough time. Both of these close on the 19th of June at 7:30, so you have time, people. Make sure you go over there if you're an Arsenal fan and, of course, a Formula One fan. If you're an England fan and you're getting ready for the Euros, there is a Euro 24 prize for the cost of only $1. You can win some unbelievable prizes that are a mega bundle. There are England shirts. There is a signed Paul Gascoigne shirt. There is also other prizes you can win from an instant win just by putting in the prize of £1.95. So please make sure that you do that. And if you are up for some darts and you're a fan of Luke Littler, then make sure you get involved, people, because for $3.95 you can win some signed Generation 1 darts flights from Luke Littler himself. And let me be real with you, he is going to be an absolute star. So please make sure you go support our sponsors, which is footballprizes.co.uk. Let's get to it. Arsenal news. Let's start with the midfield area of Arsenal. There's been a lot of rumours. It has gone very, very quiet in the last couple of days. But what does that mean? It's probably a good thing. It probably means Edu and Arteta are looking at their targets and having a little bit of a think in midfield about what they want to do. And I saw some rumours about Bruno Guimaraes. I've seen rumours about Zubimendi. I've seen rumours about De Jong. I saw rumours the other day about a couple of players that we're going to mention now. And that's where we're going to start. João Neves. Let's talk about João Neves. João Neves from Benfica looks to me as if anybody wants him, he's going to be like an Enzo money. He's going to be like João Felix money. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of money that people are talking about, over £100 million. There are rumours that Manchester United have bid £51 million for him and it has been rejected. That means they're nowhere near. And they've been told they're nowhere near from what people are saying. So if that is going to be the starting offer and they've been told, see you later, are we actually going to be going in for João Neves? Because that is a player that is going to cost upwards of 100 to 120 million, they are saying. He's 19 years old. He looks very nifty. He looks able to get out of tight spaces. He looks able to be. He looks like he's able to spray the ball. He looks like he's able to be able to get into a position where he can actually allow for some creativity. He's a flair player. From what I can see, he doesn't look the tallest. He looks quite small, not like as small as Cazorla or Torreira, but that kind of build, I suppose. He's got the technical ability of somebody like Santi. I don't think he's quite as good, but I do believe that there was an opportunity for a YouTube reel to be looked at of him. Now, YouTube reels are dangerous because it makes Mustafi look like Cannavaro and Yaya Sonogo look like he's going to be the next Carlos Tevez. But when you look at this clips from him, it's more his skill and his technical ability that actually does impress me. It's more the fact that he wants the ball. It's more the fact that he's got drive on the ball. He's a ball carrier. He's actually a player I look at as someone I think can be what Declan Rice has been in the last part of the season and probably more in terms of technical ability. Rice has got those physical presence, that physical presence. So yeah, it's a player I really do like. So let's see what happens with João Neves. He's going to be a lot of money. And I'm not so sure that I look at him and think that there's potential for Arsenal to get him this summer because I think it's going to be a mad amount of money. I really do. So let's move to the next one we're going to talk about. Andre Onana from Everton. Just in a rumour from Football London that suggests, or was it Football London? Yeah, it might not be in Football London actually. It was a transfer rumour that I've just seen. Let's find out where it was actually. So I had it just in front of me. Where are we? Here we go. Oh, it's Football Fancast. So Football Fancast is saying that Arsenal are interested in looking at Onana, and it's probably going to be between 45 and 50 million pounds. I don't think that is good money spent. I would rather go and spend 25 to 30 million on Yusuf Fofana, who I know can play in the 6 and the 8, who I know is definitely more of a box-to-box than Onana. Onana, I think, to me, looks more like an anchor. Now, I know Richo and some of the other Everton fans in the chat might look at that and think, yeah, there's definitely some... Did I say Andre Onana? I meant Amadou Onana. Thank you, Nifin. Sorry, man. I mean in the Onana playing for Everton, by the way. Not the goalkeeper. So I look at it and I think, yeah, this is a player I could look at and quite like. But I don't know that he's going to get to the next level. I don't think he's going to go to Arsenal and take us to that over across the line. And I feel like with Onana, we're in a position where, likewise, when he was at Everton, he's got some physical attributes I like. But actually moving forward, I'm not too sure. So I think that Zubimendi and Fofana would actually be better than Onana. I think Onana, yeah, is Premier League proven, but I've not been impressed to the level where I thought, yeah, this guy will take us to that next level. I think Zubimendi, with his technical ability and his deep line playmaking skills, I think would be good. And I think with Fofana up and down, box to box, would be better. Onana, I'm not too sure that he does either of them at that top quality. And I think that we can get a lot better for 45, 50 million than Onana, in my opinion. So that one I'm not too sure about, man. I'm not too sure about. Zinchenko, sale, unlikely. There's a few reports suggesting that Arteta wants to keep Zinchenko as part of the squad. Now, I would not be against getting rid of this guy. I think he's a liability defensively. And although I like him on the ball, I don't think we're in a position where we can have players that play in that position that aren't good enough defensively. I've never seen him play in midfield. Arteta clearly doesn't want to play him there. So therefore, he's going to be a left back. Now, do we believe that Zinchenko is going to be a good enough backup left back to Timber? If so, we keep him. If we believe that he's not going to be a part of the squad, we have to sell him. And I think if we was to get anything close to 30 million, I'd accept it. If Bayern Munich are serious about it, let's get rid of him. Let's sell him. I honestly believe that is what we need to do with Zinchenko. So let's see. I would rather, if I tell you what, I'll be real with you now, guys, right? I would rather keep Tierney than Zinchenko. And people that don't like to hear that will say, oh, Dan just absolutely loves Tierney, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I do love Tierney. And I think Tierney's better defensively than Zinchenko. I've got to say it. I think he is better defensively than Zinchenko. Sorry, I do. I just don't feel like there's any debate in that. Defensively, Tierney is just so much better. And Zinchenko's a good footballer. Don't get me wrong. On the ball, I actually think he's quite impressive. I think it's quite good to see. But let's just be real about it. Tierney is so much better defensively. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Let's come to your questions before we come to a close. We've done the starting 11. Liam says, what do you think of Eze making the squad? I'm glad he has. He's a baller. I would love Eze at Arsenal. I think he's an absolute baller. And I think he can play across the front three. I think he can play in midfield. I think he can play the 8 role, the 10 role, on the wing. I actually think he can play up top. I think he's that good, man. I think he's just a very, very classy footballer. And I'm really glad that he's gone because I think he deserves it. I really do. So that's my thoughts on Eze. This one comes in from Abdul. Do you think Ben White should have chosen? Yes, I do, but he's never going to be because for whatever reason, he seems to be having this fallout, tiff, whatever you want to call it, with Southgate and I think it's Holland. So until they go, Ben White, he won't be anywhere near the squad, unfortunately. AFC always says, Dan, do you think England defenders are good enough for this tournament? I'm not sure. It's probably the weakest area of our England squad, isn't it? Let's be real. John Stones is the only one there. I like Konza, I like Gehi, I like Dunk, I like Gomez. But any of those you're looking at thinking, wow, 100% they're going to come in and take us to the next level. I'm not so sure. I think Gehi's probably the best, if I'm honest, out of those guys. Or Konza. I know Billy loves Konza. Lee, big up, my bro. Been a long time since the same old Arsenal days, bro. I hope you're well. Question says, if we don't get Bruno, G, who would you like to sign for the number 8 role, Dan? If it's not Bruno, De Jong. If it's not De Jong, I honestly would go to Yusuf Fofana. They're the 3 for me. Now, there's a drop-off between Fofana and the other 2, but I think we're more likely to go and get somebody of Fofana's ilk. Douglas Luiz is another option. Aston Villa has come out today that they need to sell. But I think Fofana could be that fit. I really do. So let's see where we're at. 170 Gunner. Is this an Arteta in or Arteta out channel? It is a Arsenal in channel, my friend. So it's not going to be Arteta in, Arteta out like you want it to be. I don't do debates like that, man. I'm not interested in that at the moment. I'm interested in the transfer market. Liam says, do you think players like Eze, Wharton and Manu will get much minutes? Southgate, once he's 11, doesn't really tinker too much. I think Kobe Manu can actually be a really good player in this tournament. I think he could be one that we look at. And I believe it or not, believe that Eze could be a really good sub. Because although those players I've mentioned are really top quality, I don't think that they'll all stay on and play 90 minutes in every single game. Wouldn't surprise me if Eze comes on and switches with Palmer, or Palmer comes on from the bench, or Gordon comes on and gives us some pace, or we switch maybe Saka off for Eze or something like that. I'm sure we can do that. And Kobe Minu, I think, has a chance of starting alongside Rice. I really do. If he wants to actually go with Bellingham as the 10 and Foden left and Saka right, he might play Kobe Minu and Rice in the middle. So I think we've got options, man. I think Southgate's got no excuses. AFC always says, Dan, what formation would you go for in this tournament? I personally would go for a 4-2-3-1 because I play Bellingham and Rice and then Palmer in the 10. And then I'd have Saka and Foden either side of Kane. That's what I would do. But a lot of people are saying that we should be going 4-3-3. My mum has asked, how do people join as a member, please, Dan? Rodney was asking. If you go to the like button, the subscribe button, there'll be a join button. Hit join. You can become a member, people, if that's what you want to do. Big up to Rodney. Much appreciate that. This comes in from Jake. Says, it's the second question. It's unrelated to football. Are there any content creators that you wouldn't collaborate with? Interesting question. No. I have everybody on my channel. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they've got 1 follower or 1 million followers. If they want to have a voice, I believe it's important that they have that voice and that they share it and allow it to be heard. So I'm not really one of these guys who says, oh, you haven't got enough followers, you can't come on my channel, or you don't have in your own channel, or you're only a TikToker, you don't have a YouTube channel. I'm not a snob like that. I really don't care. If anyone wants to come on and have a chat, and there will be opportunities for people from the chat to engage, because I think that's really important for you to get your voices on here instead of just being in the comments with calling shows and stuff like that for next season. So please watch this space for that, because that will be happening. Nobody that I don't get on with really in the world of YouTube. I'm kind of pretty chill, really. I get on with most people, and all the drama that happens, I tend to keep out of it. So good question though, Jake. This one comes in from Nathan. Says, I'm not keen on Onana. I don't think he's an Arsenal level, and City wouldn't be signing him. We need level raisers. This is exactly why I'm not a fan of Onana myself. This is why I don't think I'll look at Onana thinking, yeah, he's one that I'll definitely have at Arsenal, because for me, I think we can do a lot better. So that could be interesting. This one comes in from Niffin, who says, I prefer De Jong over Bruno Guimaraes. Now, let me tell you the difference between these two players. The pros are, he's a better ball carrier than Bruno Guimaraes, I think. The other pros are, he's had more level of experience in terms of the Champions League. He's been in an absolute elite team in Barcelona, and over the years has done very well. He's done very, very well when he's come on the scene, burst on the scene at Ajax. Bruno Guimaraes, the reason I would put him over De Jong is because Bruno can play definitely in the 6 and 8. De Jong, I think, can, but not to that level, in my opinion. Not in particular in one of the positions, I don't think. I think Bruno Guimaraes has definitely got better stats than De Jong. I think Bruno Guimaraes is Premier League proven. I think Bruno Guimaraes is a player that at 26 years old has got the physical attributes that perhaps De Jong hasn't got. So I think that De Jong would probably be my second choice over Bruno G as the first. But I'd like either. I would. I really would. Let's come to Daniela, who says, is this the wake-up call for Grealish to leave City and find a club to play first-team football? Yes would be my answer. It's amazing, isn't it? Maybe Tottenham and Villa look at him. Maybe Chelsea look at him. Maybe Arsenal look at him. But I honestly don't believe that Jack Grealish can look at his career at Manchester City and say it's terrible. At the same time, can he look at his career at Manchester City and say, I've been one of the elite players that absolutely was like contributing and pivotal in the treble winning side, and £100 million was worth it? I think he's been poor this season. I think he's been really poor. I don't look at Jack Grealish and think he's been a phenomenal player at all. What's he got? 3 goals? Something like that? Hardly any assists, no contributions. I don't really think he's a player that I look at and think, wow. So I think he probably look back at his Man City career and say it's been okay. I think in terms of his actual personal performances, I think his trophies will say, oh, he's won trophies everywhere, every single season, right? But when you look at Jack Grealish, are you actually going to be serious and say that this has been worth every single penny? £100 million? Come on, man. Look at what Arsenal have done with Declan Rice. You won't look at his trophies, but no one's looking at the 105 million thinking, what the hell? That was mad waste of money. And I think some people would look at Grealish and say that wasn't worth £100 million. No way. So it's interesting how you look at it. Now, when it comes to whose career looks better on paper, Jack Grealish leaves Declan Rice dead in the water. I know Jack Grealish is a bit older than Declan Rice. I don't think it's much, though. I think what Jack Grealish 28, something like that, 27, 28. Whereas I think Declan Rice is 25. So he's got a couple of years on him. But come on, man. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Arsenal First says that he will take Julian Alvarez. He's better than our current number 9. Do you know what? Julian Alvarez, I don't even see him as a 9. I think he's definitely more as a 10. And I think wide, coming in from the left, he looks like he can do a job. But Julian Alvarez is a player that they got literally out of nowhere. River Plate, wasn't it? Fantastic signing. Absolutely fantastic signing. I have to say it has been. And it's been one that I would look at and think, yeah, fair play to Manchester City for getting that one. I'm a big fan of his. Would I take him over Kai Havertz in the 9, over Jesus in the 9? I kind of think it would be a similar signing to that. I don't think Julian Alvarez gets us 25 goals a season. I don't think Julian Alvarez gets us 20. I'm going to say I don't think Julian Alvarez gets us any more than Havertz or Jesus does when they're fit. And maybe that's a mad, wild take. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you think different. But I don't look at Julian Alvarez's game and think, yeah, that's exactly what Arsenal are missing. The striker situation interests me greatly because I really don't see who we are going to get. I think people, and I understand why people think it has to be Isak, it has to be Tony, it has to be Watkins. Why? Because those 3 play in the Premier League. If it isn't them, who do we go for? My number 1 would be Victor Gyökeres. My number 2 would actually be Sesko. And after that, I'm looking at other options, thinking, where are we at? Like, where are we going? So, I don't know, man. I just think that the striker one is so difficult. They're all risky. Other than Isak, they're all risky. Sesko's risky. Osimhen is risky. Victor Gyökeres is risky. Even Tony and Watkins is risky, not because they're not coming from a different league, but because they've got to step it up and actually be the Arsenal number 9. And I made this comparison yesterday. I really don't know that people understood it. I think Tony and Watkins in the 90s get nowhere near the England squad. I think Tony and Watkins in the 2000s get nowhere near the England squad. I think Tony and Watkins in the 2000s, late 2000s, late 2010s get nowhere near being top scorers in the Premier Leagues. I think they're good players, but I don't think they're great. So can they go up front for Arsenal? Maybe. I like Tony. But I don't think Tony guarantees you 30 goals. I don't think Watkins does either. So, yeah, who does? Who is that number 9 out there? Now, if I could have any striker that wasn't Isak, Tony or Watkins, I would actually go for Victor Gyökeres, because I believe that with the England experience at Coventry, with the goals he's been scoring at Coventry and over at Sporting Lisbon, I think he's the sort of player that we need. I think he's an all-round number 9. I've got a lot of time for his technical ability. Sesko I haven't seen enough of in comparison to Victor Gyökeres, but what I will say is that what I've seen and heard about attributes-wise is something that we could be looking at. So I think when you look at it, we could be looking at potentially Sesko being 6'5", good in the air, good with his head, can use his left foot, can use his right foot. 13 goals off the back of a season where he's pretty much second choice most of the time. Maybe that is what we need. Is he wasteful in front of goal? Well, the stats suggest that he's missed more chance than Havertz and missed more chance than Jesus, whatever it was that people have said. So they're going, maybe it's best just to keep Kai Havertz. And there's an option for us not to buy a striker this summer and actually go in for Isak next year and just go and sort all the other positions out. But I think that would be lazy. I think we know what we need. There has been games this season just gone where we have definitely missed a number 9. Against Liverpool at home, we needed a number 9, a killer in the box. We didn't have one. West Ham at home, how many chances did we have? We needed a killer in the box. The only game, in fact, last season, just gone, that we did not dominate was Fulham away. Because Aston Villa, we should have been 2-0 up in the first half. But Havertz missed and Trossard missed, and we weren't allowing ourselves to kill the game off. And then what happens? Boom. It's crazy. So that's where I'm at. Listen, guys, we're going to leave it there. It's going to be a shorter one tonight. I'm absolutely knackered. I've got to go and get myself sorted. Make sure you do me a favor. Please, I beg you, hit the like button. It is free. Subscribe to the channel. It is free. We're so close to 20K. We are only just over 200 away from making 20K as a community. Please hit that subscribe button. It means so much. Do it now. Do it live. Do it on catch up. Do it as you watch this. Hit that subscribe button because it is free. Please, please, please do that, guys. The only times I ever beg was when we were at nearly 10K. And believe it or not, we're now nearly at 20K. And I'll be doing exactly the same when we get to nearly 30K. This is a milestone. So please make sure that you help hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Remember to go check out our sponsors, footballprizes.co.uk. They've got phenomenal prizes there. Thierry Henry signed shirts, Silverstone Grand Prix tickets, England Retro signed equipment. Make sure you go and get it. Please, please, please go check them out because they definitely deserve it. They've got unbelievable prizes up there. So like, subscribe, check out Football Prizes. We'll be back tomorrow with some more content. Take it easy. We're out of here. Laters.